Should I read off campus today? Demerits, subway. Demerits, subway.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Fidel Castro, is that you? I thought I noticed you with that black Cheeto mustache.
Very funny. Fidel, is that you? Yes. Betty, don't listen to that man.
George, is that you? Where's your dentures?
Don't listen to a man who can't even take care of his own teeth. Do not listen to that man who is a wannabe Kim Jong-un. Quiet, gray-haired cherry picker.
Guys, stop arguing.
I built a nation, and what did you do, lad? Instead of becoming a president for 4 years, I am the president of Cuba for life. At least I'm not a communist. Oh yeah? Well, my country has egalitarian society.
Guys, stop arguing.
Stay at school. Go, your freedoms outweigh the rules. You have a whole cafeteria to choose from. The cafe costs the same amount as all my meals combined and tastes like feces.
Good point, George. All the rules do say I should stay at school.
No good things ever come without taking chances. Hashtag YOLO. Well, are you willing to suffer the consequences of your actions? If you rally a group that is greater than half the school, then you will force them to reconsider their rules.
Well, as much as that does sound like a good idea, I'm still having trouble deciding on what to do.
Well, we can both give your side of the story and help you you can make your decision. This is the first time I'll ever agree with you on anything.
That sounds like a good idea. Who's going to start?
You can, George. Very well, sir. I took part in the American Revolution and was the leader. Psh, I did way more than that.
Fidel, let him finish, please.
No, you took everyone's money and distributed it to them like a coward. And you caused many deaths in your wars. Look what it's done for the long run. I built a government which is successful and works like a charm. You did not build the government, you were involved in it.
Fidel, let's hear your side.
Okay, well, it started in 1952 when General Batista took over Cuba.
What happened next?
I was infuriated, so I allied with many rebels around Cuba and also a man named Che Guevara. I led several assaults against Batista, and they were not successful. Big whoop. Quiet, George. I was in prison. From what I heard, Batista sentenced you for 15 years, but he let you out in 2 because he wanted to show you his superiority. Ha ha. You should have stayed there, and the whole world would have benefited from it. You should have been shot and killed, and I would be a lot happier right now. Well, then democracy would never have been created, and we would all be goddamn communists. You like scrap?
Please fight, guys, so I can make a decision on who wins. Just kidding. Don't fight.
We shall scrap with words.
I think that I'll eat off campus, but how we pull this off, George? What are the pros and cons?
I know the pros. I have the cons. One pro is better food. One con is suspension or expulsion. Another pro is it's cheaper. Well, there's no equality for the students who don't have cards or enough money to go off campus to eat. So Betty, how will these students feel when you come back with your Subway sandwich or KFC? The cafeteria already has enough variety. How much different flavor of ice cream do you need? Well, there already is an inequality, such as only 9 and 10 graders have MPX. So you just have to wait for you to become a sophomore, junior, or senior. Plus, if you attend mid-pack, then you have the money to buy lunch and you can always walk to Manoa Marketplace. If you cannot go off campus and really want something, then you should get it before or after school. The cafe variety isn't that good because you have the same options every day for 4 years. They just rotate. Plus, you have the choice to buy healthier foods.
Fidel, I like your thinking, but how will be unfair? And George, I really like your ideas. You with your pros because there are some kids who can't go. And plus, George, what are the pros? Or do the pros outweigh the cons? Plus, Fidel, your cons do not exist once the school changes the rules about going off campus to eat.
Yes, of course, freedom. Think of expulsion.
So much going through my mind right now.
Fidel, my enemy, there are certain rules that have to be re-looked at. Do you think the laws of the United States have been the same for over 200 years? That was 200 plus years ago, George. There is something called retaliation.
I think I'll just go off to eat off campus for lunch today.
Betty, it's you against the school's government, so let's just say the rule gets changed. How will we manage who goes off and when or if they will come back and all that stuff that comes with changing the rule?
True, but George, you can help me with these, right?
Well, there are about 4 major things we need to address. The first is what grade levels get to go off, consequences for if the students do not return, liability for those who do go off and if they will be safe, and what are the standards for you to go off campus. Yes, that I'd correct. So, how are you going to account for this, huh, George? Pooh? For what grade levels get to go off? I would like to address that only sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Well, I'm a sophomore. That means I can go off. Yes.
Seems reasonable that you need to be mature to go off campus. Next, for the consequences, you have 15 minutes once the next period starts. If you're late but back within 15 minutes, you have a second chance. But if you blow it on your second chance, come back later than 15 minutes, or do not come back at all, you lose your freedom to eat lunch off campus for that school semester.
What if we are kidnapped or endangered?
That leads to my next point, which is safety and liability, which is our main focus. The school should trust their students to be able to look out for themselves. But if the student feels uncomfortable or unsure about going off campus, then they should stay. What happens if one student isn't? What happens if a kid gets hurt? Will the school be in trouble, or will the student be responsible for actions?
I think that the students should be responsible for their own actions and what they have done.
I agree with you, Betty. But just to protect the school, a liability waiver shall be signed to protect the school. How will you approach the school about your revolution? We will state all that we have said. Duh.
George, we need to organize this and make this happen.
Betty, what are the standards? The standards to go off campus shall be quite high.
I agree, maybe like a 3.3 GPA or higher.
Then they have to be a good student and at least 2 teacher recommendations saying they should be able to leave campus.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. But then they need to be okay to go off.
Well, I see you guys have it all figured out, huh? Not bad, eh?
It appears that you can leave now, Fidel, since your opinion is no longer needed.
I think I'm going to side with you guys, however, I don't know what the school will think of this. The school will take Betty seriously because she has good reasons and is stepping up to the plate for what she believes in. Will they really take her seriously? They have to, because we will start a revolution and get other students on our side to help us fight this war. Give another reason. We are the students and at least need to consider a change to our cafe or accept our ways. How about I just leave, because I can see this is a no-win battle for me. Why are you being so negative? Why are you so against the idea of having freedom? Just join our side of the revolution. I cannot believe or side with you. I am communist and do not like how you Democrat people think.
Please leave the premises, Fidel.
I will have him escorted out, Betty, no worries. I am going to go to MPI president and tell him this is a bad idea. You go do that, Fidel, and let's see how that works out.
I really hope this works out, George.
It will not, and it will ruin the system and make the students feel lesser than others. We shall propose this to MPI and will plan our next move based on their response.
Done.